Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Got my monster. A little different color today. That was a pineapple-y one, interestingly. Uh, yeah, so let's jump into it, shall we? I'll click on the right thing on the screen here. And disclaimer, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of any future results, although some of us tend to get lucky a whole lot. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell anything, financial instrument or otherwise. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult that financial advisor. And let's look at some stuff here. So S&P 500, ES, these are the futures breaking out above the highs over here. This is looking positive. We've got some upside potential. Anyway, this retrace tended to be a 3-day, a little bit deeper retrace. Let's look at it on a different chart here. So I brought this chart this morning. This is the corrective move, and it hit this A wave, the first wave down. We had the corrective, the trend was down in a correction. So we had the first push down, then we had the retrace in wave B that made a lower high there. And then we got the more aggressive C wave, and it pushed down to the 161.8% extension, almost exactly, and bounced right there. That was what I was looking for yesterday during the morning live stream. I kind of highlighted those on ES, NQ, and Russell. All three of them hit right in that zone that I was looking for, and then bounced strongly. And this was a strong bounce, overnight action there. We kind of closed right at the top. I was concerned that we were in a 3-day downtrend holding lower highs, but then overnight we poked up through, retested, bounced up, and I think we just did another retest there when I was getting ready after I made this chart, and it looks like we're trying to push up higher out of here at this point. Now when we flip back to the 3-day S&P chart, the SPX, we're struggling to get through this purple line. We're really struggling. It looks like we may keep struggling right on through the FOMC and then find out if we're on this up path or a down path. I don't know which one we're going to... if we get a big run today, we may be on this path and come right back down here on the FOMC and then break out higher. So these are my two most likely paths. Getting a retrace down to around 3680-ish on the S&P, or popping out here and 4130. This kind of corresponds with this chart right here. If the market's bearish, if we're going lower, we're probably going to come up right to about 4117 on ES. Now there's about 20-point difference on ES and S&P, so these ES numbers are about 20 points higher than the actual what you'll see on the S&P 500 SPX. So just keep that in mind. And if you're trading SPY, you have to knock another couple points off when you move the decimal over. They do have carry costs. So if we're going bullish, though, our targets are looking more like 4160 and 4216 on this push higher here. So the next couple of days are going to tell us if this is more of a bullish setup or if we're more likely to roll down and go lower. Now we're still in that gray zone of, this has got a big fat gray zone right here along this purple line. Get my chart back to the right. There we go. Right along this, you see the tail sticking up, and it's kind of a fuzzy gray zone right along this purple line. This is the downtrend line that we had all of 2022. I've been calling it the 2022 downtrend line because pretty much it was the highs of all 2022, and now we're trying to push through. So that's what we've got that way. And ES looking like we can try and get the breakout here. NQ also just making new highs in the last few minutes, and Russell also, yesterday it was already pushing the high yesterday into the close. It was higher than right here, and pushing well above today. Getting above here is pretty bullish on Russell. In the bigger picture for Russell, it looks like we're going. 2100 looks like the price, and for IWM, that the IWM is the ETF for Russell. So it looks like we're probably this 206, 207 area on IWM is where we're headed. Now, big news of the day, Tesla announcing earnings last night, kind of beat on the top and bottom. And don't count out old Musk until he's down, I guess. He pulled a rabbit out of the hat, beat on the top and bottom numbers, and the market is liking it. Even though it says surprise negative right there, all the articles I saw said beat on top and bottom. So breaking out above this orange consolidation box. If you've been listening to me, I said on the 30 minutes of awesome, if we break out of that, likely to head back up to the roadmap line here around 200, but we also have that double top action right there. So it all comes in that same area right there around 200. And we've got the downtrend line up here too. Depending on how fast we get there and kind of do a extension trajectory, looks like somewhere around 240, 250. You know, somewhere in this zone, we'd probably come up here and hit it if we're going to break out and go full bull. But that's, I mean, that's a long way up there. That's another almost 100 points from where we are right now. Can it do it? Sure, it can do it. But that's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of money flowing back into Tesla, and we've got some resistance levels in between there. So, all right. We're trying to get there. And now, TSLL. This is one I jumped into yesterday. I hadn't really heard of this before. It's kind of looks like it's a new kid on the block here, run by Direction. It's a 1.5 leverage just on shares. You can play options on this. That's kind of dangerous. Leverage on leverage is not what I recommend doing at all. I don't give trading advice, but don't be dumb with your money. And leverage on leverage is starting to be gambling. So be careful there. This, just looking at this chart, it looks like we have that resistance right up here. That's probably that double top area. So this one can probably run right up here. And we don't even have enough charts for a roadmap line at this point. Or, I mean, enough candles on the daily here for a roadmap line. So it looks like we're probably breaking out of the, we're definitely breaking out of the downtrend here on this one. This is magnified, and my methods don't always work the best on these necessarily, but a return back up here to this 13 area looks pretty reasonable, and we're already at 894, so looking for something like that on this one. This one gonna get slammed. This bear ETF for Tesla probably gonna head back down to this area 45. All right, natural gas, oil continuing to drop like a rock. I've been, the natural gas trade is done for now. Until something happens natural gas wise, like the polar vortex starts firing up or something like that, lower prices are in store for Boyle, UNG, just NG1. Looking up the future right here. I mean, look at that. She's going down. Those high prices brought more supply online in the United States, and the price is plummeting because of it. How low can she go? Well, we jump back to the, just taking a look at the weekly. I mean, we could head back down to this consolidation area, and it looks like we're already basically pushing into it. And the bottom down here, dollar, looks like the long-term lows right around $1.50 to $2. So we could definitely head back down in that zone right there. Don't get too bullish on stuff that looks bearish. I mean, that looks bearish that's just a straight down drop. We'll probably get a low bounce and then the final move. So be careful on that. PFE looks like it's breaking below the roadmap line, going to retest the lows. We break below that prior low there at 4170-ish. It's probably going to get extension down to 38, possibly 33. ORGN, this one was talked about. I don't see it moving though. We can jump back down to some more friendly timelines for pre-market action. Doesn't look like you can do anything pre-market, so I'm not sure what they're talking about. I picked a number of these up off of stock twits down to somewhere right here. So they were just the big talkers today. It looks like MasterCard beating on earnings and getting a nice little pop. I had a higher target on MasterCard, I think, not on the 15-minute. No, I don't have it drawn on this chart for some reason, but looks like it's an uptrend. That looks like the low. Came up, retested, get some extension. We can put the fib on here. And found resistance there, breaking out. Next fib up is 411. NOC, that looks pretty horrible for NOC. Looks like a reversal of trend. It was on a nice big uptrend, now potentially downtrend for a little bit. So AAL looking like it can get a pop up into this zone right around here, around 19. That would be the path. Have no idea what the news is, but we also have JetBlue on here. So JetBlue's stuck at the roadmap line. Not expecting a whole lot until we break out above like $9. Otherwise, we could retrace right back down into the lows. Another one, VLO, victim of the chaos earlier in the week there. And not a lot of move pre-market, but a return up to this 159 would totally be expected. Now, you might say, what's up with oil and gas? Well, gasoline prices going up. Valero has gas stations. So now, Service Now looks like a bounce off the roadmap line, going higher potentially. How high? Just looking at this move right here, looks like if this thing's going to go bullish, we'll probably come up to about 524 and find some resistance right in there. So something like this. Now, the more likely target, bounce down at 482. But if it gets full bull extension, so could get a bounce down at 482 right there. Retest the roadmap line and then go bigger. So next up, XM. Not sure what the news is here. Looks like the news is it's popping off pre-market. Nice big gap up on earnings, looks like. So they did pretty good apparently on an uptrend. Breaking out above this 15, can see it just continue higher all day. MLGO, another one popping off. Looks like that one may get a retrace. That may have been the top. That was quite a big move for a $1.50 stock. So be careful. It came right up to this prior resistance over here. Just looking back on a few days time, popped up right over there. So watch that one. All right, next up, NIO, getting a nice pop also. Needs to break above this resistance. That's back to the daily time frame. We got a big resistance built up where it popped up to the roadmap line and rejected. So watch out on that one. We're definitely gonna have to be about like 16 to get a really confirmed uptrend going on NIO. Next up, XPEV, just chugging around. Looks like we're gonna have to jump back down here. Come on, there we go. Nice pop, but we do have resistance right up here at 1065. Right there. That's moving today. Another one, BAER. Looks like it does not have much of any history at all. Is this a new IPO maybe? Yesterday? Just looks volatile. This will likely go lower before it goes higher. Well, it may go higher for a little bit, but it's going to make a lower low eventually than the IPO. That's just the way IPOs work. STX, getting a nice little pop. Earnings came in better than expected. Top and bottom beat. Looks pretty good. This one can go on a bigger trend. Breaking out above the roadmap line. That is bullish. And resistance is up here around 80, the 80 area. Right up in this zone right here. Right up there. So it can make a nice run right up there over the next couple days. And last on the list that was moving, I saw, was GDS. This one, A breakout over 28 can take this one on higher. Looks like the next resistance zone up here. So if we break out over that prior high right there, we can see a move on up. All right, it is 9:29:30. Market's about to open. I'm gonna let you go. Hope you get some awesome movers today. Find something interesting. Looks like ES and NQ gonna break out higher. So very positive. Move up higher. We've got that 41.17 target at the minimum, even if it's bearish. So I am upside biased today. Good luck out there, and I'll see you again tomorrow.